The 2024 total solar eclipse is coming up. Unfortunately, I live in Seattle, and the closest point on the path of totality is in Dallas, but I'm a college student with the means and the time to go, so I'm going to chase this eclipse. For those of you who don't know, a solar eclipse happens when the moon passes in front of the sun and creates a shadow that passes over the Earth. The shadow is only visible for 4 minutes, but the entire eclipse duration is about 4 hours. The next total solar eclipse in the United States isn't until 2044, so I feel like I need to take advantage of this opportunity. This is my solar telescope that I'm going to bring to Texas. It's got a very special filter built into it that only selects one wavelength of the light from the sun, so that way I can see just the solar prominences and other surface features, and it'll hopefully allow me to see a much more detailed view of the solar eclipse while I'm in Texas. It's built onto a tracking mount, so that way it will track the sun in the sky as it moves throughout the day. And I've got a special eyepiece on here that I can zoom in and out so I can see different levels of detail. This thing is pretty small, so it's nice to travel with, but it's also really powerful, and it can see a lot of really cool features on the sun. And I'll show you some pictures that I've taken using this telescope and my special astronomy camera on the screen. So as you can see, the level of detail that it can achieve is pretty crazy. It's time for me to leave to catch my flight. I got my telescope, I got my suitcase, and most importantly, I have my special safety glasses. See you in Texas. Made it to my hotel after a long trip, and today's Saturday night, so tomorrow's Sunday, so I just get the day to explore the city and see what's up, hang out, and then Monday is the big day. On Sunday, I went to the Perot Museum of Natural History in downtown Dallas, and I saw a bunch of fossils from dinosaurs and other prehistoric animals, and I also saw a bunch of really cool rocks. But the most important part about me going there was I actually met someone who was also going to see the eclipse, and because of the bad weather, offered to drive me and my telescope out somewhere clearer. I'm sitting here in bed, and it's Sunday night. The weather forecasts are not looking too good right now. It's 60% chance of pretty darn cloudy in Dallas, so I'm going to try to head northeast towards Paris. But it's currently 9 p.m. and I got to wake up in 7 hours, so I'm going to snooze. It's April 8th at 5 a.m. I got my Uber coming to pick me up in 3 minutes, so I better get going, and I will see you guys somewhere. I took this Uber out to the other side of the city to go meet my new friend Colin and his 7-year-old son. And we had decided the night before to drive out to Sulphur Springs, Texas, which is about an hour or so northeast of there. It looked like it had the best chance of clear skies, but as you can see here, early in the morning it didn't have much clear skies. We found this cool park with a lake and decided to settle down there. And eventually the clouds started to clear up, which was good. So I got my telescope out and aligned it and got it ready to go. This is the setup. Battery is not as charged as I thought it was, so hopefully it's fine. And the sky's slowly turning blue. So let's hope it stays that way. Here's a few photos of the first contact, which is when the moon first touches the outer edge of the sun, that I got with my phone through the eyepiece of the telescope. Also a video here. And the clouds were pretty intermittent, so they came in and out, but it ended up being pretty decent. I saw this cool blue bird getting ready to watch the totality with me. As we get closer and closer to totality, I started to notice a few things. Namely, the temperature was dropping pretty rapidly, and also there was more clouds surrounding the sun, which seemed like a bad luck, but thankfully at the very end, they mostly cleared up, and it was just some high clouds that didn't impact the visibility of the totality too much. Also, I'm not an animal expert, but it did seem like the wildlife was confused by the sudden darkness and started preparing for nightfall. I set my phone up on the ground to record the totality as it started, and let's just say it turned out really well. I don't think the video captures just quite how cool it was, but for me, this was probably the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Wow! Oh my god! Oh, that's crazy!
Oh my god!
Oh my god, it's like black and white now.
can see the corona of the sun,
Yeah.
the streamer. Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Here comes the light. There it is. Wow. Oh my God. Wow. And in 4 minutes and 21 seconds, it was over. And daylight was back, the sky was blue, birds were chirping. It was one of the coolest things I've ever experienced. Getting to go to Texas to see this was just an absolute privilege, and it's so hard to explain how it made me feel in the moment, but it's really just a complete gratitude for just the world. And honestly, like, having seen this, I think it's something that everyone should at least attempt to see in their lifetime. It's just an absolutely breathtaking experience. Being in the shadow of the moon for those 4 minutes are going to be 4 minutes that I remember for the rest of my life, and I'm just so grateful to have experienced them. Also, Oscar Mayer Wiener car.